Hey, I'm CDiinky. And in today's video, we are going to be going over all of the creatures and or bosses that could be added into Grounded 2. When the game gets released next month, it is going to be in early access, which means the devs still have plenty of room to add more creatures and bosses into Grounded, following up to the 1.0 or heck even further than 1.0's release. If you guys have been enjoying this Grounded 2 content, go ahead and support the channel by leaving a like, subscribing, and heck even commenting down below. I would really appreciate that. And now let's jump straight into today's video. There is going to be at least 60 different creatures added into Grounded in its early access state, as we have the Trapper Peeper mutation making a return, and to fully unlock the mutations phases 1 to 3, we are going to need to collect 60 gold cards, which means there will be at least 60 creatures coming into Grounded 2. We have already seen roughly around about 25 creatures coming into Grounded. The new creatures that we haven't seen before are going to be the caterpillars, slugs, butterflies, freezing moths, scorpions, cockroaches, mantises, and a bunch more. So now we know about the creatures that are coming into Grounded 2, what about the creatures that they could possibly add, or some things we haven't seen yet that are going to be added or could possibly be added into Grounded 2. So let's start off with the obvious elephant in the room. The cut lizard boss from Grounded 1 could be making a return to be a boss, mini boss, or even just a random creature inside the park in Grounded 2. It is possible there could be a new playground area where the lizard boss can be held, although this isn't confirmed just yet. Considering the yard is going to be 3 times the size of the first game, it is pretty high that they might add in some of the cut content bosses from Grounded 1, so keep your hopes up for a lizard boss inside of Grounded 2, and along with the lizard boss we might also finally get the lizard armor in the game officially. It's in the Tiny Tidbits mod made by the Apex of Predators in Grounded 1, but it might be official, we might get the lizard armor and the lizard spear into Grounded 2. The cut huntsman spider from back when Grounded was in its very early beta stages might be making a return as well. We already know a tarantula type spider is going to be in the park as well, and having a huntsman spider and a tarantula, one of the 2 biggest spiders in the world, will be absolutely crazy. They might even add a trapdoor spider, or heck even a funnel web spider, which is the most deadliest spider in the world, and it's home down under where I live in Australia. We know there is going to be some sort of lake and or pond inside of the park in Grounded 2, which can also add a bunch of new creatures being added, such as the cut content of the leeches. The leeches were in the pond before Grounded came into 1.0, and they seem to be pretty interesting to see. It definitely would have been a great call to add them inside of Grounded 1, but I feel like the pond might have been too cluttered considering they had dive mel spiders, Trudy, water fleas, and tadpoles. But for Grounded 2, hey, I'm happy to take the leeches, as they seem to provide more of a threat than they did with Trudy or the koi fish from Grounded 1. On the topic of the pond for Grounded 1, not only was the leeches scrapped, there was also a water strider that was able to allow you to skate across the water that was scrapped from Grounded 1 as well. I think the pond was a little bit too small to traverse on, but considering the yard is going to be 3 times bigger inside of the park, the water strider shoes might come in handy, allowing us to skate across the water to reach this new upper yard area from Grounded 1 per se. There is also the possibility of the scrapped earwig coming into Grounded 2 for an underground or maybe undershed section of the park, as the earwig was a really cool concept inside of Grounded 1. The weapon allowed you to deal slashing and stabbing damage at the same time, which would have been a game changer, as we had never seen any dual type weapon elements unless we were wanting to count the mantis scythe from Grounded 1, which did slashing and stabbing damage. Along with the earwig being cut from Grounded 1, we also had the cut silverfish, which really didn't have much of a use at the time besides making the silverfish shield. So if it's coming into Grounded 2, it's definitely going to have a brand new use, and it's going to be a very happy and warm welcome for the silverfish. That there is all the cut content creatures from Grounded 1 that I know of. If I've missed any, please let me know down below in the comments, and they might be added as well, but I'm pretty sure I got all of them. Now it's time for the fun segment of today's video, where I'm going to go ahead and give my own opinions on what creatures and bosses I would love to see into Grounded 2. Now these are just going to be my thoughts and my opinions, so if you disagree with me or agree with me, let me know down below in the comments. But we may see these bugs, bosses, and or creatures coming in the future, because I know the devs are going to be watching this video. Speaking of devs, hi options. So one of the very first creatures I would love to see into Grounded 2, and fun fact, I had this thought even before Grounded 2 was announced. I was going to make a Grounded 2 creature video that could be happening in the future, and then bang, next week Grounded 2 comes out. So the first creature I would love to see inside of Grounded 2 is going to be green ants. And yes, now I know the green ants are native to Australia, and boy oh boy, when these things bite you, they inject venom into you, and it feels like you're being stung when it actually bites you. Green ant stings can like last up to like maybe 5 hours of everlasting pain. These stings suck, and that's just from a singular bite. And I think it's going to be a great fit for Grounded 2, because how cool would it be if you get bit by an ant and you get hit by poison or a venom damage over time? I think that would be absolutely crazy. But considering they are native to Australia and this game is set in the US, I don't think it's very likely. Another creature I would love to see into Grounded 2 is going to be the stick insect or stick bug, whichever way you want to call it. These guys are masters of disguise, and they can be sitting on a tree and you will not be able to see them at all. They'll blend in so well. And the reason why I think these should be in the game is because when you take them out, you can actually go ahead and make some sort of armor set that will allow you to become pretty much invisible inside of the park. It's going to make stealth builds and the ambush mutation become so much stronger, because you can just walk behind creatures and they will not see you coming at all. Obviously, if you move too much, the creatures will see you, but if you stand still next to a tree or something, the creature will just not see you at all. And I think that'd be a really cool armor set and or effect that could be added into Grounded 2. The next creature on my list is going to be flies inside of the game. I'm honestly shocked flies weren't in Grounded 1 and they were replaced with gnats, as flies like to go ahead and be like gnats and hang around a lot of trash. And if there are going to be flies in the game, there's also going to introduce maggots, as maggots are larvae for flies. Now, what can we do with these new fly parts if they were going to be added into the game? Well, considering the park is going to be 3 times the size of the yard, I think we can go ahead and use their eyes or their head to go ahead and make a telescope, so we can scope out areas that can go further than our peepers, or it could be a peeper upgrade. And if we do not want a telescope inside of Grounded 2, we can go ahead and use their wings to make a fly wingsuit to glide around the yard without needing a buggy. What do you guys think about this one? Alright, now let's jump into some of the few bosses I would like to see inside of Grounded 2, and it's going to start with a centipede and or a millipede. I think these creatures would be really cool in the backyard, not to just fight off the bat by summoning it in by using some sort of summonable. If we have to go ahead and like maybe track the millipede or centipede, as they like to dig underground, and it may even take us a few times tracking the millipede and or centipede before we can actually fight the boss. I think this would be a really cool and innovative boss. Instead of finding the arena and making the crafting summonables for it, we're going to need to find the locations of each millipede or the one millipede, go down the nest and see if it's active, and if not, we have gone to the wrong location. Another boss I would like to see is going to be a quote-unquote surprise boss, which is going to be none other than a trapdoor spider. I think a surprise boss fight would be very fun to see, just being fully unprepared and just being taken down into a spider's den, because the trapdoor spiders actually make, it's in their name, a trapdoor. So what if you walk over a certain area and accidentally trigger the trapdoor and fall down into their spider nest, triggering a random and unprovoked boss fight? I think that would be really cool to see, just keeping you more on your toes and keeping aware of your surroundings. And the final boss I would love to see to be added inside the park for Grounded 2 is just some sort of scorpion boss. I think having scorpions as just a random creature isn't enough. I want to go ahead and fight a massive scorpion, a big scorpion, and a boss scorpion at that. Not sure what that scorpion could be, possibly even a whip scorpion. I just googled it and they look, seems pretty cool. So let's go with the whip scorpion for the boss. Now that I think about it, the whip scorpion looks pretty cool. It's got little chompers on its face and a stinger on the back. Seems pretty cool, but let's see that inside of Grounded 2. So that there is going to be the end of today's video, guys. If you guys have enjoyed today's video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and heck, even a comment down below of what creatures you think should be coming into Grounded 2. And a massive shout out to my channel members and my tier 3 members, Coco, the Stitchman, and Idiot Plays. I appreciate you guys a lot. And for that said, guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video.